Hello, fabulous friends. Here we are at Chapter 9, Twin Dreams. Now, we went from not wanting anything to do with Shekinah Worship Center to, wow, this is Shekinah Glory. So many things were going on there. So many things of God that were so good and so real. And at the same time, you had to keep your eye very aware of some things that shouldn't be in there and watch out for people. And Joe is very good at that. Joe and Melinda are just wonderful, awesome people. They are, they're fallible people. They're just like anybody. And except they do have a true realistic fire for the passion of God and to know the truths of God. And for us to go there and make a move from being the church that we were originally in and saved in was, it's a big step for us. But here's what happened. Even though God was working on us to move and there was going to be a change, we could tell, we just didn't know why or what or when. But when we met Joe and Melinda and those at Shekinah, we could tell the direction, but we wanted to make sure. I mean, that wasn't something we're going to do just because it looked good or sounded good. And here's what happened. I went into Casey's office, and she immediately said, "Mike, I had a dream about you last night." Now, honestly, that sounded kind of strange to me coming from a nice young lady, but her voice was matter of fact, and just stating it, and then she went right on to what else we're going to go for work for the day, for business for the day. And here's what she said. "I had a dream about you last night, Mike, and I saw you and Chris, and you were in this little church, and you were in the back room, and you were running around helping and serving and doing all the things that you do." And that's it. She stopped there and went right on to the business needs. Now, number one, she doesn't know, she's not in our church, so she has no idea how we work or what we do, and as far as serving, except for a little bit we've talked about, and I work for her. But, see us in this little church, it was just, well, you did have to be there to understand how she looked and how she just matter-of-factly said that, went right on to the next subject as far as business for the day. So later on, of course, I went and told Chris that, and we made note of that. The very next day, I take Matthew into his counseling appointment. In California, the foster children are mandatory to have counseling a certain amount of times per month, and this was his day, and his counselor was named Teak, a wonderful lady. She was a Christian lady, although we never spoke anything about Christian subjects or any such thing. We just took him in, and she did her counseling with him and moved on. Well, this particular day, Chris and I were there together, and Matthew had to go out of the room and take care of something, and she immediately looked at me and said, "Mike, I had a dream about you last night, and I saw you and Chris at this little place, and you're in the back, running around like you do, and serving, just like you guys do." And she said the same tone, the same matter-of-fact type of voice, and went right on to talk about Matthew and what she was going to work with him that day. Chris and I were just looking at each other like, what happened? What happened? Two dreams the same? And that was, of course, shortly the next thing I know is I was asked to go, or offered to go to help at Shekinah Worship Center on a Saturday. Casey actually said, "Hey, take the day off, and you can take care of that and handle. I know you'd love to go there and serve the homeless and take care of those people," and which we did love to do. Met the pastors that day. Already met Joe, but never met his wife, Melinda. They were such wonderful people. They let their daughter go home with us and hang out, which was pretty cool to me. But before that happened, of course, we were running around and serving and filling up bags and doing all these things, and didn't even realize it until we got into our van and went to leave. We both looked at each other and said, "Wow, that's exactly what we were doing. We're in this little church in the back room, running around, serving and doing what we really enjoy doing." And so that did it. We knew it was time to move. That's kind of how we got to Shekinah, which, again, the challenging part was the friends and wonderful friends and people we met and are still friends with from Harvest. There's always that human, tangible part that you don't want to leave, but the part that was wanting to be obedient to what God said, overruled it. We missed where we were at with those people. You're here to serve God and love everyone you can and go from there. So that's quickly about how we got to Shekinah, and many, many things happened from there. Joe has so many stories of what God's done in his life, the miraculous things he's done through him to get him in ministry, which he did not want to do, and so many other things. But we learned tons there. Way, way too many stories to talk about here. Love to share with you anytime. Have a tremendously blessed day.